Hello and welcome back to another Teaching Tips with SuperCare video. Today we have a maths video and we are looking at introducing fractions to our EYFS level children. So in my tough tray today, I have got some Play-Doh, I've got a knife and I've got some cutters, as well as my PEX symbols as well for whole and half. This is a really simple activity that I use here at SuperCare, and this is a way that we introduce fractions to our young people, for people who have never seen fractions before. So this can be introduced at any age, regardless of what a child's stage is. So I would simply put it in a tough tray. Lots of our young people love Play-Doh, they love exploring it, and so it would be very much the adult leading this learning. So this is how I would run a session around fractions with this activity. So I would introduce them to some Play-Doh. The child might come pick it up, squish it, they might break it up into 1,000 pieces, that is all fine. I would then, as the adult, be encouraging them to squash it and create a shape. We'd be commenting on the shapes. So this is a heart, and I would be saying that to the young person and encouraging them to repeat it as well. Now this is where the fractions part comes in. So I would be asking them to cut the shape, and again I would be modelling this as I do it. So I'm going to cut it directly in half like this. And that's when our fractions comes into play. So I would then be modelling verbally to a child, oh look, I had a whole and now I have two halves. Hopefully the young person would then pick up on this and copy what I'm doing. So they would hopefully create a shape and cut it in half as well. Now with this sort of activity, if they make a shape and then they cut it into quarters instead, I would still be introducing that vocabulary to them. It doesn't matter if it goes off on a tangent of what we're doing. So a young person might make a shape and then they might cut it like this instead. I would still be saying, oh look, we've cut a shape in half. This isn't half, but encouraging that language and using that language is super important, and we can direct them to this as well. I would then also, with our verbal children, be introducing some sentence stems for them and encouraging them to use those sentence stems too. This is a great activity you can do in lots of different situations as well. So with this one, I have got Play-Doh and cutters. There is no reason you could not take this into the kitchen and make biscuits, and we're talking about cutting out holes and cutting them in half. That's a great way to introduce learning into some new environments. Again, this could be extended into when they're eating dinner, when they're using a knife and fork, or we're cutting a shape from a whole into two halves. This learning can really be extended. I would then look to extend this learning. If my young person was really confident in this activity, I might then cut my shape again and cut my halves in half to make quarters, and then I would be encouraging them to verbalise exactly what I've done and verbalising them to do the same to make quarters too. And then again, as I modelled previously, we would be saying 4 quarters make a whole, and I would be encouraging them to repeat that back after me. One other way I would extend this activity is I would use my Makaton signs. So we have half and we have whole. So what I would be doing is I would be signalling half when I have half a shape, and I would be signalling whole when there's a whole shape. This can be really simply done with just you adding them signs as you're working. In today's video, we have looked at a fractions activity for our EYFS level children. We have used Play-Doh as our example here, but we've also talked about how this activity can be used in the kitchen and at dinner, as well as in so many other situations too. We've talked about how I would model this and how I would verbalise our learning and encourage a young person to do that too. We've also talked about how we can extend this activity with PEX and Makaton symbols and how you would lead that learning as the adults. Thank you for watching this Teaching Tips with SuperCare video. Like, comment and subscribe and follow, because we have many more on the way.